Good afternoon, everybody. Kind of glad to be back in the game week. Bye weeks are interesting. They're it's a great chance to get healthy and to get a 2 week preparation in for an opponent. Um, but also just odd to kind of be sitting there on Saturday afternoon watching everybody else play and not have a game ourselves. So our guys they practice because they like to play, and I think they're excited about playing this game on Saturday. Certainly a big opponent for us. To play Boston College, a team out of the ACC. That's why our guys come to school here. They really I think get excited about playing these games against these Power Five opponents, and who wouldn't? I mean, ever since they started putting the pads on and wanted to play football, they dreamed of playing at the very highest level, and frankly, for me too, I really enjoy having the opportunity to coach against these teams, and because it's the highest level of college football, and so we're excited about the opportunity, and certainly it's going to be a great challenge for us. They've got a very talented football team, a well-coached team. Coach Halfley, just a tremendous football coach. He's got a great staff, and very impressed with their team. There's a team that Florida State is one of the most talked about teams in the country this year. The success they're having, and BC's going blow for blow with those guys. So it's going to be a heck of a challenge for us, but we're excited about the opportunity. Glad to be coming back home here to West Point. This will be the first time in a few weeks, and only the second time this year. So happy to be at home.
And you want to kick us off today?
Hi, Jeff. Ken McMillan, the Times-Star Record. Jeff, how critical is it to get a Power 5 school into West Point? At least once every season or every other season?
I think it's great to be able to have teams like that come to our stadium. I think it's probably a feather in the cap for the program, if that's a way to put it. And we play a lot of these Power 5 teams on the road, and a lot of the games that we play are guarantee games, which teams in the Group of 5 and teams in FCS and frankly other Power 5 schools would take a 1-game series with a team for a guarantee, and so to be able to play some home and homes with Power 5 programs, I think is it's just fantastic for our program to be able to have a team like Boston College come here, like Wake Forest did a couple of years ago, and Duke has been here to play, and our crowds, I'm certain, get excited about the opportunity to see those teams that they recognize that play in the major conferences, and so it's again a great opportunity for our team, but also I think just tremendous for the program that we get a team with the prestige of Boston College and a school like that to bring the football program here.
Jeff, with the bye week, how much do you change your approach over the 2 weeks? And then can you address what specifically did you work on in the last 2 weeks?
We do change our approach. We played Syracuse a week ago Saturday. We came back on Sunday and practiced on Sunday, and we typically do that. I felt like it was important for us to get that workout in, kind of get the game behind us, and then took Monday off, which we always do during the week. We practiced on Tuesday, had a very light workout on Wednesday, and then practiced again on Thursday, and gave the guys Friday and Saturday off, which was a nice break for them. I think some of the guys got away from campus, which I think is very healthy for them mentally, and allows them to be able to get recharged, which everybody needs. And then we started our game week mode again on Sunday. So we came back this past Sunday and practiced as we normally do. Took yesterday off, and we'll be back on the practice field today and go through this week like we would a normal game week. Just in terms of what we worked on, we really tried to approach last week a little bit like we would, I guess, not preseason camp, but almost like a couple weeks into spring ball, where we've got the majority of our schemes installed, but we really want to concentrate and focus on fundamentals, which we did an inordinate amount of time working blocking drills, block destruction, tackling, ball security, all things that we need to make tremendous improvements on if we're going to have a chance to beat Boston College and have a chance in games to follow, and really to hone in on some things maybe that as we approach that first game, we've been going 4 weeks in a row, that we may have wanted to install on offense, defense, special teams, and just couldn't fit it into the schedule. And we're able to work on some things that are maybe new to the playbook. Not that that's going to be the major portion of what we do. What we do is what we do, but to have some complementary things, felt like that was a key time to be able to do that.
And Jeff, as we're 4 games into the season here, so we're sort of like at the 1/3 poll. Can you give us your overall assessment of this team, where they're at, and where you hope to go in this middle third?
Our team has played really hard. I think our guys have played the game with great effort. They care about each other. They care about this team. They care about winning. There's nothing in me that has any sort of disappointment about the commitment level of our football team. I'm certainly disappointed that we're 2-2. I'd much prefer to be 4-0 or 3-1 even. But there's some things in the 2 losses that we recognize we could have done better, and we've got to focus on being better at those things. And as we continue to face talented teams, well-coached teams, which we will this week and throughout the season, we're going to have to execute in those critical areas and play better fundamentally. As I said, we got to block better and sustain blocks. We got to do a better job of block destruction. We got to tackle more effectively, and we got to take care of the ball and not turn it over, and get the ball back from the other team. So those are the fundamentals that win football games. And so I feel like we can be doing those things better. And had we done those things better in the Monroe game and the Syracuse game, we might have given ourselves a better chance to win. And so hopefully we're learning from our mistakes, and we're doing a better job coaching, and I'm doing a better job preparing our team.
Connor, go ahead on Zoom.
Charles, you can start.
Good afternoon, Coach. Charles Grievous here with GoBlackKnights.com. Against Syracuse, running back Hayden Reed and safety Max DiDomenico were both out. And of course, Tyrell Robinson has yet to make an appearance for the 2023 campaign. After coming off the bye week, will any of the aforementioned or anyone that I might have missed, will they be available for Saturday's contest against Boston College?
Well, I anticipate that all 3 of those guys may be healthy and ready to go for this week, which is encouraging. Hayden's been practicing, as has Max. Tyrell has continued to practice, though in a limited role, but he's gotten better and healthier. And the injury he had last year was a pretty tough injury and a long rehab, but he's finally back to practicing and looks more like the T-Rob that we know. So he may be available for Saturday, and that's going to be a call by our trainers as well as him and his comfort level.
Great. And on both sides of the ball, you have some freshmen who have already made noise. You can start with starting center Brady Small, and on defense, you have linebackers Hano and Elo, who are making outstanding progress from my perspective. Are there any other plebes that you have been impressed with relative to their progress thus far?
I'm excited about Toby Olawale, who's one of our wide receivers, and I expect to see him playing more and more as the season goes along. He was hampered with a hamstring injury in preseason camp, and then re-aggravated it early in the season, and really didn't get a lot of time. He got to play some last game, which was positive, and I think he's feeling healthy. So I'm excited about him. Kanye Udo, the running back, I think he's a really physical runner, and I'm excited to see him get the ball more and carry the ball and see if he's really capable of becoming a dynamic back for us. Champ Harris is continuing to grow. It's really a difficult transition to go from high school to the highest level of college football. I see other guys doing it on other teams, but it's not like you look out there and the teams you're watching on Saturday on TV have 14 freshmen playing. There's a guy here and a guy there. And so hopefully he'll continue to progress and come along. You mentioned Brady Small, you mentioned Elo Medozi, Tonoli Tuli has played some. That's been great to see those guys come along. There's other young guys in the program that I really foresee having good careers, and whether they'll help us significantly or not this season, we'll see. But I think Stephen Nadozi, who's a corner, has a chance to contribute and be a really good player. We've been very impressed with Noah Nixon, who's an inside linebacker, and watching him kind of come along. So there's guys throughout the program that I think as we go through this season and here, and Charles, you know as well as anybody, that the Beast Barracks legs start to show up about this time of year, about a month into the season. They come into preseason camp, and they're so charged up and excited about being in camp that they're kind of able to push through. But they call them the plebe legs. Some guys start to really get fatigued, and it takes its toll on them, and they kind of hit a plateau. And other guys are able to power through it and overcome it. And so it'll be interesting to see in this stretch over the next 2 or 3 weeks of how those guys respond and which of those young freshmen are able to kind of rise up and make a contribution. But I'm excited about our freshman class in general. I think there's some good players in that class, and some guys that I believe are going to have really good careers as they mature and grow through the program.
Great. And my follow-up and final question, this Saturday's game against Boston College, I believe the Black Knights are facing what seems to be a weekly declaration, which is a must-win game. BC is coming off of a 27-24 comeback victory over Virginia at home, I believe, last week. From your perspective, can you add value to that quote-unquote must-win statement based on Saturday's game itself, and even taking into consideration the upcoming games on your schedule?
Well, that was a great win that Boston College had, and it really showed a resilience and a toughness. And they went to overtime in their opening game against Northern Illinois. As I said, they battled Florida State to the finish. Comeback victory this past weekend. This is a very good football team, and it's going to be a tough game to win. But it is a game that we've got to win if we hope to be in the conversation for postseason play. And I think it's okay to acknowledge that and recognize that the goal at this level is to play in bowl games. And not everybody can make the playoffs, but there's a lot of us that can make the postseason and play in bowl games. And so this is an important game for that, as are the games to follow. And all you have to do is look at the games we have left and do the math and figure out, which games we have to win or how many games we have to win to be able to be in the postseason. And so this is an important game. It's if we don't win it, it doesn't mean there's no chance for us, but it certainly makes it harder. And our guys are smart. I think they recognize that. It's not something we talk about, but certainly when you're sitting there 2-2, and essentially we've got 6 games left that count. There's a sense of urgency for sure.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
We'll go to Ken.
Hey, good afternoon, Coach. Just a quick clarification. You mentioned players that may be available. Is Ajan Marshall a possibility for Saturday?
Ajan is kind of working his way back into into practice. Unfortunately, that injury that he suffered against Syracuse kind of set him back. He wasn't able to practice at all last week. He has been running. And so we haven't practiced, but Sunday, so we haven't practiced yet this week. We'll kind of see how he looks, if he can practice today, and then and tomorrow and Friday. So obviously Thursday being a walkthrough day for us, but if he can get some reps and he looks good enough to play and be effective and certainly protect himself and have an impact on the game, then he would play. But it's a little bit early this week to be able to make a determination on him.
Sure. Hey, just looking at the background of the Boston College coach, Jeff Hafley, came out of Siena and made his way to 3 NFL teams, the 49ers, Cleveland, and Tampa Bay. And then he went to be the defensive coordinator at Ohio State before Boston College. So that's quite a leap. He's had quite a career in coaching.
Well, obviously, he's really good at what he does. A knowledgeable coach, a great leader, and that's evident in the fact that he's had so many opportunities. I'm certain that the folks that he's worked with and worked for recognize his talent and his ability as a coach, and so obviously looking at the success they had at Ohio State, that's easy to see. You're on a national stage, one of the best programs in the country. You're the defensive coordinator. The scrutiny and the criticisms that come with a job like that, the pressures of that job, certainly prepared him to be the head coach at Boston College. And I think he's doing a great job. I know he's doing a tremendous job recruiting. It's not like he took over an easy situation. They weren't the ACC champion the 3 years before he got there. He came in and had to build the program. And I think he's done a great job. And obviously got a very talented team and very competitive team, and a team that's going to be a great challenge for us to beat this Saturday.
Hey, Coach, just a quick question on the Boston College quarterback, a transfer from UCF, Thomas Castellanos. He's got over 1,000 yards passing already and 358 yards rushing. So another quarterback that can throw the ball and run the ball. He's
a really good player. He as you said, is throwing the ball really well, but also their leading rusher, and he's a handful. You watch him on film, and when he breaks contained, if teams don't do a good job of keeping him contained in the pocket, he's going to get loose and run, and that's where he's really dangerous. Very impressed with him. Outstanding player, great thrower, and so again, as you said, you get a dual threat quarterback. It makes it twice as difficult to defend him.
We'll go to Joe.
Hey, Coach. Great to hear that Andre Miller was out of the hospital after his injury at Syracuse last week. Understand he's been back on campus a little bit. Are you able to provide an update on his condition and what his involvement with the team has been since he's been out?
We certainly are glad to have him back. He came back later that night, actually in the wee hours of the morning following the game, and he's in good health. He's not going to play this week, still recovering from the injury, but we anticipate he's going to make a full recovery, and our training staff and medical staff is doing a great job working with him. So he's around. He's here every day. He's at practice, at meetings, going to class. Just got some work to do to recover from the injury. But as I said, we anticipate him being able to play and hopefully here in the next few weeks.
Were you given an official diagnosis on what the exact nature of that injury was?
I was given a diagnosis on it, but it's not something I can share.
Gotcha, no problem. And last question, you mentioned these guys that your guys get particularly excited to play Power 5 opponents and just teams that are big brands around the country. Do you find that they get extra excited to play these P5s and these other FBS teams that are also located in the Northeast?
Oh, I don't know that they're particular about where these teams come from. We got guys from 39 different states in our program, so they come from all over the place. They recognize the big teams nationally, and our guys are excited to play. They love to play football. They enjoy coming up here. You come to a practice and you watch our guys practice. They practice hard. They're having fun. It's competitive. Rarely in a season do I have to say something about our guys or to our guys about not being excited to practice or not working hard. And sometimes I do. They're human beings, and sometimes they need a little push to get going. But our guys like to play the game, so they're not particular about who they play. They enjoy getting out there and having a chance to compete in a college football game. But they, like everybody else who grew up playing football and dreamed of playing college football and are now playing college football themselves, to play teams from the major conferences is exciting for them. I mean, I played Division III football. I would have loved to have played in a stadium like we play here at Mikey Stadium, or gone to play at Syracuse like we did last week. I mean, that would have been an incredible opportunity and experience for me. I didn't have that opportunity. I'm fortunate that I get to be the coach here and be able to coach in stadiums like that. But those experiences for our players, and for them growing up and dreaming of playing college football, and now they're playing Boston College, who's a team out of the ACC and a team that's got a great history in college football and a talented football team that they have to go match up with guys that were recruited by other Power 5 programs. They got to go match up with those guys. It's exciting for them. So they were equally as excited to play Michigan and Ohio State and Wisconsin and Notre Dame and Rutgers and Duke and Wake Forest and Stanford and Missouri, and I'm leaving some out, but we played a lot of those teams, and every time it's a thrill for our guys, as it should be. It should be, and that's why they come to school here, to have opportunities to play FBS football and play those teams out of major conferences.
Anything
We'll go
else
with
on Zoom, Connor? Okay.
Yeah, one more, Sal.
Hey, Coach. Hope you're having a good day. Question on Tyrell Robinson. Has he received any live reps in practice, or is that something that you might see this week?
I'm having a great day, by the way, Sal. I appreciate it. I'm making it a great day. We all have that choice. So I hope you are as well. Tyrell has taken live reps. We haven't tackled him and brought him to the ground. I don't know that there's a need for us to do that. We may at some point to kind of get him ready for the preparation of playing a game, but we've really just been kind of focusing on trying to get him to play full speed and change directions and do all the football things that he would in a game without tackling him to the ground. But we'll see. I mean, we didn't tackle our quarterbacks to the ground. Some of them haven't been tackled yet because they haven't been in a game. So the first time Bryson Daly got tackles was in Louisiana, and so I don't know that we've got to tackle him to have him ready, but it may be something that our trainers feel like is necessary.
Thanks. Just one more. How close is the team to being where it needs to be through these first 4 games of the season, and after this bye?
Sal, we're still a ways away from where I'd like for us to be. The fundamental things are really what I look at, not necessarily how many points we score or how many sacks we get or whatever it may be. It really is just how we're blocking and sustaining blocks. Are we doing a good job of being tacklers that terminate plays? They end when our guys get their hands on the ball carrier. Are we doing a good job of taking care of the ball, whether it's looking passes and pitches in, securing the ball next to our body, not getting it knocked out? Are we creating turnovers on defense? Playing solid in the kicking game? I think all of those areas need improvement, and to have a chance to play and beat Boston College, we're going to have to do every one of those things better. We didn't do those things well enough against Syracuse, a very talented football team from the same conference as Boston College. and we came up short. So unless we do those things better, we're gonna have a difficult time beating Boston College. So really, that's been our focus, and it has to be daily. But I'd like to see our team just be more efficient at the fundamentals, and I think if we'll do that, then the execution of the plays and the calls on defense and special teams will be a byproduct of playing well fundamentally, and so it's hard to find that out in practice, and it's not until you really kick the ball off and you're playing an opponent and it's for keeps that you find out how well you've improved. So we'll be able to assess that on Saturday.
Go ahead, Rich.
Hey, Coach. Question just about the experience and what Saturday's going to be like. It's going to be a great crowd. It's October. It's a Power 5 school coming down the road. What kind of atmosphere are you expecting? Opportunity for your team?
This is a great place to experience college football. There's a lot of great stadiums in the United States, and I've been to a bunch of great stadiums with tremendous crowds. But this stadium particularly has the respect of college football and those that follow college football and write about college football and cover college football as one of the best college football stadiums in the country. And it is the setting. It's right here on the Hudson River, on these hallowed grounds of West Point, Fort Putnam, overlooking the north end zone and the trees and the leaves that change in October, and just the beauty of this campus, but also the history of this stadium, the great teams that have played here, the legendary players and coaches that have been part of Army football teams, and the other teams that have come to West Point to play. It wasn't but a few years ago that Peyton Manning came with President Bill Clinton, and they were doing a special about the first forward pass down on the plain, Newt Rockney's Notre Dame team. This place has an unbelievable history, and I've heard it described as a little bit like Disneyland, and it is true. People come here once a year. We don't have 25,000 season ticket holders. What we got is 25,000 people every week that come once a year, along with our student body of 4,400 and 5,000 season ticket holders, to give us a great crowd of 35, 40,000 people that come here to watch a football game on a Saturday afternoon, and they come here for the pageantry and the history and the march on and the parade and the flyover and all those things. But they also, fortunately, have been able to watch a team that's had some success at home. And I think our success at home certainly has a lot to do with the way we've played, but it is the pride that we take in playing here. And the crowd that shows up this Saturday, I know will be a great crowd. I know our fan base and all those that have planned to make this trip are coming to see a great team like Boston College playing here at Michie Stadium. And that's pretty special. So we're looking forward to the opportunity. It is an opportunity. And hopefully our guys will take advantage of the opportunity and play well and give ourselves a chance to win.
That's great. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.